Hey gang, so today I think I'm going to do a little bit of shooting with a couple of my bows. One is a PSE baby GeForce from, I want to say it's like a 1996 model. And then the other one is the newest bow I actually own, which is my Hoyt Trykon, and that was new in 2007, so that's nowhere near new today. But yeah, I just want to play around a little bit, throw some arrows out of both bows, and see how that goes. I'm a little on the fatigue side today. We were out setting up tree stands earlier, and well, with my congestive heart failure, it really takes the energy out of me. So anyways, we'll throw a few arrows and see how this goes. I'm expecting to be a bit shaky, and hopefully I don't pull the trigger too hard or flinch too hard and miss the target down there. But it's gonna have a little bit of fun today. See what happens. Yeah, let's do this. Alright gang, so this here is my PSE baby GeForce. I believe, like I said, it was a 1996 model, so it's got some age to it. I got a True Glow sights on here, 5 pins. I do not have all 5 pins sighted in. In fact, I believe I only have the top one at 20 yards sighted, and I haven't done a lot of shooting with this bow on the last number of years. It's been a long time. I had it restringed last winter, and then messed around a little bit. I've added a few silencers on this just to try to, this bow is really noisy, and it always has been. One thing about this bow is this thing has 15% let off, so it's not a lot of let off. What let off is when you pull the bow back, and as it comes over the cams and rolls off, you'll feel a little bit of a dump. And when that happens on this bow, you're getting a 15% let off. So I don't know, let's say you're pulling 10 pounds, and 15% of 10 pounds would be what? A pound? No, 1.5 pounds let off. So you're actually only holding 8.5 pounds compared to 10 pounds. Now this bow, if I remember right, I have it set at 60 pounds. So what would that be? 60 pounds? I'm not even sure. I'll put the math up somewhere here, but it's not a lot of let off. So when you're holding it back, you're holding a lot of weight. But yeah, let's go ahead and do a little bit of shooting. I'm going to do this sitting down. A lot of times I do a lot of standing up shots, but I'm a little tired, a little fatigued. So we're just going to do sitting down, and plus we're coming into season here where be up in a tree stand, and not all your shots are standing up. Sometimes you're sitting down, so it doesn't hurt to practice getting some shots in while you're sitting down. No, I'm not going to be using this bow this year out in the field. I say that, but I actually really do want to, because I have not taken a deer with this bow since I bought my Hoyt back in 2007. So it would be a lot of fun to take a deer with this bow, because this bow has done a lot of hunting, and there's been a lot of deer taken with this bow. So let's take a look. Let's see what we can do here. Yeah, she's tough. Did you hear how loud that bow is? It makes like a pinging noise. And without putting these rubber silencers on all over the place, this thing was actually making a lot more noise. And what's crazy about that is I've shot lots and lots of deer in the past with this bow, and even though it's as noisy it is, sometimes the deer would jump the string, but mostly I'd get my game. Yeah, pretty nice. And this bow shoots, it's got quite a bit of shock and vibration. If you watch the bow when it's in hand, it literally wants to jump forward, and it sends a lot of recoil up the arm and into the shoulder. This is a tough bow to shoot, and I used to shoot league with this bow, throwing what, 30 arrows I think it is when we were doing, yeah 30 arrows through this bow. But it sure is a fun bow to shoot, even though it's really old. Just watch this bow. It wants to just jump right forward. Nice. Alright, I'm going to go collect some arrows. I'll be back. Yeah, this time we're going to throw some arrows through the old Hoyt Trykon. Bought this brand new in 2007. This sight though, I bought this sight new this last year. I still shoot league and 3D targets with this bow, and it does pretty well. Now this bow has 85% let off compared to my PSE that had 15% let off. So it's pretty nice when you're holding back, when you're pulling back 60 pounds, you're probably only holding back what, 9, something like that. I'll put the number up top. But yeah, this is when you're holding back, it's a lot less weight you're holding back, so it's, you know, you can hold a little bit longer. It's a little more comfortable, less fatigue, and this bow is quite a bit less noisy than the PSE, a lot less vibration, a lot less recoil. It just was a really comfortable bow to shoot. But this last year, it's developed a little bit of noise. So it might be time at some point to replace this thing. But yeah, let's go ahead, throw a couple arrows through this thing. It's way smoother shooting, a lot less recoil. Did you hear that noise? This bow used to not make that noise. That started last year during league. And we went right through this bow. We don't know where that noise is coming from. I thought it was part of the sight, but everything is tight there, so it's not part of the sight. So I don't know where that noise is coming from. It used to be just super quiet. Ooh, the crows are wound up over it. I don't know if you guys can hear them. Alright, let's throw an arrow down here. Yeah, just when I shoot it, there's a lot less recoil back in my shoulder. It's just a lot more comfortable bow to shoot. My son, he's got two brand new Hoyts. One he uses for league and tournaments, and the other one he uses for hunting. And boy, let me tell you, This was a top of the line bow back in 2007, and his hunting bow is not a top of the line Hoyt. And that bow has got so much more technology in it than what this bow has, and shoots so much quieter, so much smoother, and this bow shoots really smooth anyways. So yeah, I still love shooting this bow though. And like I said, I've owned this for many years. It's just really nice. You get to the wall here to the dump, and you're just not holding a lot back. And you pull the trigger and just shoot so smooth. The only thing, like I say, I'm not happy about at this point is it developed a noise, and we just shop has looked at it a couple times, and we just can't find where that noise is coming from or what's causing it. I'm almost thinking at some point, I feel like it's in this limb, but we can't find any cracks, any fractures, anything. But anyways, I'm gonna go collect them arrows. Alright gang, so one of the things I want to talk about too is release. There are many different styles of releases. My son shoots a completely different style release than what I have. I have what's kind of known as a trigger style release. Wraps and secures on your wrist. I've always liked that style for hunting. That way I don't have to worry about dropping my release. I've seen that happen to other hunters. I'm not going to name names, but anyways, yeah, so that's one of the reasons I like this style release. It's probably not the best release on the market. In fact, this one is not very sensitive. Takes a little bit of pull. The thing is probably, I don't know, I would say this thing is at least 20 years old. I've had this for a long time, and it's my preferred release. Like I say, there are many different styles of release, some that are really high dollar. I'll bet you back in the day this wasn't even expensive, but I know my son's release that he uses for tournaments is, boy, that thing's pretty pricey. So anyways, I just want to share that a little bit. There's many different styles of release. This just happens to be the style that I prefer. Alright, let's take a look at the bows real quick, kind of side by side. I'll grab them. Alright, so here's the bow side by side. You can kind of see, I'll put the bottom cam so they line up. You can see the difference in the limb design. And even by today's standard, the bows they're producing today, these limbs are darn near flat, if not in some cases curved downward. But there's a lot of changes just from 96 to 2007, and then from 2007 to current. Like I say, my son's two bows, they're just tremendous with the technology that they have in them. Pretty doggone cool. And anyways, so I just wanted to show the difference in the limb design real quick. Yeah, I think it's time to pitch a few more arrows. Let's do that. Oh, that's another thing I was going to mention. So there's lots of different types of stabilizers, and I actually had this stabilizer on the Hoyt for quite a while too. But this stabilizer is a shock absorbing stabilizer. There's some type of BBs or pellets or something inside of this stabilizer that when you shoot, it helps damper some of the shock. And I chose to put this over to this bow just because this thing has such huge recoil and huge shock. I don't shoot this bow a lot, but I love shooting it. So when I do it, I want to try to make the bow as comfortable as possible. Oh, so one other thing that you may notice on the bows are this little strap right here, this wrist strap. Basically what that's for is when you're shooting the bow, you'll notice I have my hand open. So when I release the string, the bow should be tipping forward. And that's just so you don't have to grab it, pinch it, do anything to cause the bow to make any movement. You want to leave your hand in whatever position that you're shooting it in, and then let the release, or let the wrist strap catch it. And maybe you notice on my other shots, you see the bow tip forward after I shoot it. That's what you're looking for. So, well, let's throw some more arrows. Oh, I already had an arrow in there. See how the bow fell forward? That's what you're looking for. You don't want, when you release, hit the trigger, you don't want to go ahead and grip the handle here, grip the riser, because you could twist it one way or the other. So you just want to leave your hand open, be relaxed. This thing has a lot of shock. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, if it's picking up that shock or not. And it almost jumps out of my hand. I still love shooting this bow. I absolutely love this old bow. But if you knew the thousands of arrows that I threw through this bow, the number of deer that I've taken with this bow, I've had it for a long time. Nice. Well, I'm gonna go collect them arrows. We'll throw a couple more through the Hoyt Trykon. So when I picked up this Hoyt Trykon, like I said, I used to shoot the old PSC Baby G all the time for league and whatnot. And after 30 rounds of league, oh, my shoulder would be just killing me. And one of the guys there, his name was also John, said, "Hey, grab my Hoyt there, throw some arrows through it." And I'm like, nope, we're gonna do that next week, before I throw 30 arrows. He's like, no, you need to throw some arrows right now through my bow. I did not want to do that, but I did. And I was just so amazed at how much smoother this thing shot, how there was no recoil, no shock, no vibration. It just shot so much better than my old PSC. And that's not knocking PSC, that's old technology on that bow. So don't take me wrong that I'm knocking that bow, because I still, as I said, love to shoot that bow. But yeah, after I shot an arrow or two through his bow, I ended up shooting a whole pile full of arrows through it. And finally he's like, "John, can I have my bow back?" And the next day I was at the archery shop ordering up this bow. So I love this bow just as much as I love my old PSC. But I don't know if you can notice, as I'm drawing it back, it gets heavy, and then it gets to the point where it dumps, and this thing lets off pretty heavy. I know my son's newer bows, he's got the same amount of let off, but it's a lot smoother on the when it hits the dump. This thing dumps pretty hard. But shoots so nice. The only thing I wish I could figure out, oh my goodness, this bow got hit with some acorns. Just wish I could figure out where that noise comes from. That wasn't there before. Other than that, man, I still love this bow. And then that's the thing too. So on my two bows, for my arrow rest, it's almost like two fingers sticking out. I don't know if you can see that or not. Then I got some felt on there, help quiet it down when you're drawing. But anyways, there's different styles of arrow rests. On my son's hunting bow, he's got what they call a whisker biscuit, and that's a circle type arrow rest that your arrow sits in there, and it's held on by all these different fibers, little whiskers. That's why they call it whisker biscuit. Anyways, that's his hunting bow. His tournament bow, he has a drop away arrow rest. So there's just so many different things you can do with a bow, and depending on what you're using it for and what you like. A lot of the stuff I feel when it comes to archery is preference. So yeah, anyways guys, I really appreciate you coming along today. Take some time to throw some arrows with me. Take a look at my two old pieces of archery equipment. I say old, they're not really that old, but compared to technology of today's bows, these things are dinosaurs. But they're still so much fun to shoot. Yeah, I appreciate you guys coming along. We'll see you on the next adventure.